Hello everyone, this is Lamin Sane of LSWAT apps once again, and in today's video I have three advices that I want to share with you guys. The top three advices I've received in my career. Okay, so normally when you're a web developer you want to solve problems, okay, but not every problem is solvable by you. That's the fact. I mean, if in an ideal world we'd all be able to solve any problems that we want to solve, but sometimes the thing is you just can't solve a problem, okay, but it's very hard to ask for help. It is a very hard thing, trust me, and it took me a while to get into that mode of asking for help. Okay, so someone once told me, he says, no, identify some of the stuff that you're not very good at and be asking for help on that. Of course, try to get yourself to be better at that as time goes on, but because you have just limited time, especially when you're working in a big corporate company or some startup or for someone else, you don't have all the time in the world to solve a problem. If you're working for yourself, it's a different case. You can spend the whole day cracking at something if you enjoy it. Actually, especially if you enjoy programming, you want to solve every problem yourself. So that's one of the advice I've received from a boss of mine. Said sometimes just ask for help. It's fine, you don't have to know everything. Okay, so second is learning to say I don't know. Yeah, this one's related to the first one, but they're not exactly the same thing. So it's quite funny, but I learned this at an interview which I did not make. So I'll just tell you the brief story. I hope that my boss isn't watching this, or my next boss, but that's the fact. I went to this interview during my placement year at university, and I couldn't answer some of the questions, but instead of saying I don't know, I kept guessing. So every question that came to me, sometimes the right answer would have been to say I don't know or I'm not familiar with this, but I can learn it, but instead I just kept guessing. So at the end of the interview, the manager came out and told me that you didn't make it, you didn't get the job. And I asked why. Well, he didn't tell me probably all the reasons, but one of the reasons he said was because I kept guessing at every question. I never said that I don't know, and this is something he can't accept. He said he couldn't work with someone who never said I don't know. And at that moment I couldn't quite understand. I was thinking, hey, at least I did guess, I gave it a try. But his basic ideology was that, after thinking about it, I came to the conclusion that maybe he was quite right, because if you're working in a company and those companies are serving clients, sometimes you just can't be guessing and doing stuff randomly. You just have to accept that you don't know something. And that brings me to the first point again, just go ask for help, because you can actually just say, okay, I'm just going to try this random thing, but you might be losing money for the company or the client. So saying that I don't know, or if your boss asks you to do something, tell him I don't know if you don't know it. I mean, if he says go and find out, it's another question, but if you're definitely sure that you don't know and you have a very high probability that you might screw this up, sorry for my language, so just tell him I don't know, boss. I mean, don't say that all the time, because you don't want to be fired because you're too incompetent as well. Sometimes just go and find out, Stack Overflow it, I mean, Google it or whatever, but just have a right balance between saying I don't know and trying to solve a problem. Okay, and last but not the least, actually I think this is the most important, knowing how to tell someone they're doing the wrong thing or not playing the blame game. I combine these two as one. So I'll just start on the first one. Obviously, we've all worked with people, and sometimes you may see someone doing something that's not right. You're definitely sure he is wrong. He may not even be wrong, but you're definitely sure he may be wrong. And the first instinct that might come up in your mind is to just tell him, hey, this is wrong. And even though that is right, saying it is wrong, but telling someone that you're wrong is not something nice that they will want to hear. You could tell them that, maybe give them suggestions. Tell them you could do this in a different way. In the past, I have found a different way of doing this. and unless they are not willing to learn from you, then you can probably just tell them they're wrong. But I'm sure everyone is willing to learn. And the other part of this is, do not play the blame game. When you're in a team and your manager just asks like, who did this wrongly, or if anything goes wrong, do not play the blame game. Do not just jump up and just say, hey, it's his fault. And the reason for that is because if you're being seen in the team as the guy who plays the blame game, nobody will want to tell you anything that's going on in the team, and you don't want to be that guy in the team. And also, you may be the guy who also did something wrong someday, and because you're the blame game player, it could just backfire on you. Everyone will just point a finger on you without even giving you a chance to rectify your mistake. So do not play the blame game. I know so I've seen a lot of people do it in the past, just jumping up, it's his fault, but do not do it. Okay, so those are the top 3 tips I have for you this week, and I hope you get something from them. If you have any questions or any suggestions, as I said in the introductory video of this Sunday front-end throwbacks, yeah, write them in the comments below or send them to me on my website at lswapapps.com/contact. I shall see you soon next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.